Well, this has been living rent-free in my head for the last several days, so I thought I would share it with you. Holiday stress and seeing shadow people, is that a real thing? Well, yeah. We're going to talk about stress and shadow people and some of the causes and some other things going on. So, hey, turn your brightness up for a second on your screen. Do you see that shadow behind me right there? Do you see that? It looks like there's a head. It's near a wall. Do you see that behind me over there? Yeah. Now imagine you haven't slept in 4 days and your heart is racing, and that shadow that I see behind me just tilted its head. There's my dog. It's coming to protect me. Now, don't worry. I set that up right there just to give an example of seeing a dark shadow. So I set that up. It's not really anything to get us, but yeah, we're going to talk about the truth, the science, the stories, and the one question nobody can answer yet. Why are people seeing shadow people, especially when they're under stress? It's a great time to talk about it because we are just running straight into the holidays right now, and it's a great time. So your brain is a prediction machine. Isn't that interesting to think about? All day, it's guessing what's going to happen next. So it can keep you alive, basically. So when you're rested and you're relaxed, your brain is pretty accurate. But if you crank up the stress dial to, say, 10 or even 11 out of a scale of 0 to 10, yeah, something happens. So example, when does this happen? Sleep deprivation, panic attacks, trauma. You have a baby crying all night long and you haven't slept at all. Two main chemicals flood our system. So we have the fight or flight, or the holy crap hormone, right? Cortisol. That one is flooding our body. And then the dopamine spikes that make everything feel just way too important. I mean, we love the surge of dopamine because it's that kind of like that feel-good neurotransmitter that we get. But what is the result of these two? It is a 4-alarm fire. It's your threat detection system going into red alert mode. The amygdala in your brain starts screaming, danger, danger, at every weird shape that's kind of off back in the distance in the corner. Your visual cortex gets just overclocked and starts filling in blanks in your visual field when there's really nothing there. So it's the same reasons soldiers in war see movement in every bush or an enemy behind every shadow that tree is casting, or why after 3 all-nighters, you swear that coat rack just waved at you. Yeah. There's even a name for it. It's called hypervigilant pareidolia. And this is that on steroids. So, and the figure your brain loves to come up with, a silent, black, human-shaped silhouette. Yeah. Every culture, every continent, same description. This shadow person. It's pretty creepy, right? Yeah. So the example we have, here's a real life example. We have Reed Southen. He's a concept artist for the movies. You've probably definitely seen these movies. He was in art school, 72 hours, no sleep, and he started seeing shadow men in his peripheral vision when he was working that would just poof, turn into smoke or vanish right before him. And he said he was sleep deprived. So that's one very well-known story. I've talked about family members seeing shadow people in my house here. And I've had a lot of patients tell me, especially, again, if you're new to my channel, by the way, hi, I'm Dr. Andrea O'Connor, and 10 years of hospice. I just kind of talk about these paranormal things because it really opened my eyes in hospice. There is so much more mystery to this world, and that is why I love to talk about all these interesting things, because we don't have the answer for them. Yeah, so a lot of hospice patients would claim they saw shadow people in the corner of their rooms, heard it all the time. So lots of anecdotal reports, but we don't really have a documented study, say in Scientific American, to say what these are. So a lot of new mothers have said that they see shadow people standing over their baby's crib because, again, these moms are sleep deprived. Soldiers with PTSD, those people with insomnia are definitely reporting seeing shadow people. And even, oh, this is interesting. So Michelle Eddington wrote a whole blog post after surviving severe trauma, and she said her husband also saw the same ones. I've talked about that on my channel as well. So a lot of teenagers with PTSD, or if they're on ADHD meds, they might see shadow people. Yeah. So again, it's working in the brain. But here's where my brain leaks a little bit on this one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, did that shadow move yet? Oh, okay. You guys keep an eye on it for me. So in 2007 in Fresno, California, a California home had a backyard camera, and it caught two white stick-legged things stroll across the frame at 2 a.m. The owner was wide awake. He was not sleep deprived. He was not stressed out, no PTSD. He wasn't on any medications, and he claims he saw these as well. Or in how do you pronounce that? Torrelaguna, Spain. In 2024, an empty Airbnb had motion sensor lights flip on by themselves. And in the mirror reflection in the Airbnb shows a tall black silhouette in the room, but there was nobody in the room, just that shadow. So again, there was no one that was stressed or whatnot. They just picked that up. The Hat Man, we've talked about the Hat Man on this channel before. People report seeing a large, tall, dark, trench coat wearing, wide-brimmed hat wearing person that kind of comes into the room. And usually it's when they're in that dreamlike hypnagogic state. And everywhere, Japan, Brazil, Norway, Ohio, all these people who have never met each other describe the same shadow person. Some were even just relaxing on the couch at 3 p.m. eating cereal, reporting they saw a shadow person. There's so many anecdotal reports. So, we have doorbell cams, security footage. Even there's an old film from the 1930s that people swear show the exact same thing, a shadow person. So here's the part that nobody wants to say out loud. We have zero scientific instruments or something that the scientific community can agree upon. Like that's how we can detect if these things are real and what are these things that people keep reporting they're seeing. A lot of scientists and psychiatrists say it's sleep paralysis or they're just dreaming it. But there are people that have been wide awake reporting seeing this. So we can't detect other dimensions, even though physicists theorize that there's 11 other dimensions, possibly more. Like that is a real theory they're working on based on many experiments they've done. We don't have equipment to detect or to prove that we're catching spirit energy or whatever you would like to call it. We only have rulers for the stuff we already understand. And so right now, all we have are these stories and anecdotes, millions of them. A lot of them are clearly by, the holiday shopping, the stress of like getting everything together for Thanksgiving or Christmas, causing a little bit of insomnia and stress, like, oh, your relatives are coming to your house for the first time. You want everything to be perfect. That's a little stressful. And then you see like a little shadow person in the corner. Yeah. So until we build a better tool, we are stuck in the most uncomfortable place humans can be because we don't know. We don't know what these are. And honestly, is that scarier than any answer we could come up with? I don't know. I don't think it's scary. I think it's mysterious. And that's why I keep talking about this, because so many people that watch my channel leave comments about their experiences they've had. And a lot of people, well-educated, worked, they're not on drugs. Like they're just regular people having these experiences. So I would also like to mention that I'm reading the new book by Dan Brown. It's called Secret of Secrets. And it's about this scientist that comes up with this manuscript. Like, I'll just say it's about the paranormal, but there's like, it's called Noetic Sciences. And I'm not even into the middle of the book, but it's made me think more about shadow people because it's a lot of this What is going on in these other dimensions, and are things leaking through? So I do think there's a lot of scientific explanations. Yeah, PTSD, insomnia, stress, certain medications can bring on seeing shadow people in the periphery. But it doesn't explain people that do not have that situation going on and they're seeing it. Or again, my hospice patients that always see, I mean, for the most part, 90%, right? Someone walking in the room. Sometimes it's a shadow person. Sometimes it's their loving relative coming to talk to them. So next time life feels just a little bit too, I don't know, hard or stressful, or you catch something moving in the dark, first, make sure you're getting some sleep. Stay hydrated, get your electrolytes, drink your water, breathe, maybe cut down on the caffeine and the Red Bulls, right? If you're on a new medication, maybe look what new medications are you on. Call someone so you don't feel alone. You can be on the phone with someone or talk to a family member so you don't feel alone. So take care of you is what I'm saying. And if everything's right in your world and you're still seeing it, I think that's something else. Because if it's still there, I don't know, maybe wave back. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't acknowledge it. Don't do that. So, yeah, there's just more stuff we can't explain. And I don't know, maybe leave a light on tonight. Every time I talk about this stuff, I want to leave like a little night light on or something, just in case. Okay, have a good Halloween. Oh, no, Halloween's over. That was last month. Now we're into Thanksgiving. Have a good Thanksgiving. But I'm going to be on here before Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. See you on the next one.